Live from the CBW Radio UK studios in Chelmsford, this is Off the Record with Big C and his trusty companions, Jazzy Jeff and Stinky Pete.
Hello, yes, thank you very much, Shaggy. As usual, this is Big C, and I have in front of me, as Shaggy just said, my trusty companion, my two trusty companions, one of whom won't be here next week, I believe. At least one of you.
I'm on the Isola Widget next week.
Okay. Are you around next week then, Stinks?
Probably. If not, you'll be doing it on your own. I'll let you know.
Oh, right, that'll be good. That'll be good fun. Right, okay. Well, welcome, chaps, to another episode of Off the Record. It is streaming live on Facebook. It is streaming live on X. It is streaming live on YouTube. And we have reached episode, have a guess.
180.
180. No, not quite. 179. Next week, 180. You're going to miss 180. You can't do that.
I am.
We'll have to clip that and put it in next week. Shane can do that. So it's episode 9 of season 7. How are we, chaps, this week? Had a good week? Transfer deadline day out of the way?
That was weird this year.
It's always
but I found that a very strange deadline day. It's all, I don't... Well, why they leave it to the last minute? What's all that about?
I don't know. That's Levy's trick, right? They all do it.
It wasn't only Spurs this time. It was everybody.
Liverpool,
well,
City.
All this twaddle with Wissa and Isaac and all that. It's just like, get a life, guys. Grow up.
Yeah.
I got did I send you that very amusing meme, the one about deadline day? It's like going into the works canteen, waiting till the last minute and paying 25 quid for a pot noodle. I thought that was absolutely bloody brilliant. Whoever thought that up, whoever won Twitter, but it summed it up.
Twitter comes out with some classics every now and again.
I mean, that was absolutely brilliant.
It can be a toxic experience. Has been since actually pre-Brexit. I think it started in the build-up to Brexit. It started getting a bit weird, but it does produce. I saw one after the Liverpool Arsenal game that tickled me, and it was, as I call him, Slobberlob at Liverpool, who scored for against Arsenal. Slobberlob from Bill and Ben, I think.
That was a good goal.
It wasn't a bad goal, was it?
You mean Szoboszlai?
That's the one. Yeah. And someone said it's the first time in Premier League history that the goal scorer, a winning goal, has been scored by someone whose surname in letters in Scrabble is the same as the number of yards he was from the goal. And I thought it was quite amusing. 30 it was.
That's very good.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
No, someone's. But all that means for me is that some people have got way too much time on their hands. So,
fair enough. Yeah, I know what you mean. Right, okay, well, what are we discussing this week? I found this a bit of a challenge, to be honest. And I know you've done about 5 days of preparation for it, Pete, haven't you?
No, I did 6 hours of preparation on this.
That's astonishing. I mean, that is, you've shown us up there.
I live on my own, and there was bugger all else to do on Sunday. So I thought I'll research for the podcast, because I'd like to feel that we take our music seriously and that people listen for the erudition and the education involved, rather than 3 fat old men laughing. And
what do you mean fat?
Yeah,
granddad.
Yeah, what do you mean fat?
Pull yourself together. Anyway, there we go. So
none of us argued the old there. Did you notice?
No, I did spot that one.
It's true. But you took time off to see Slobberlob score his goal, though, presumably.
No, I didn't see it. I saw it on the highlights on YouTube at some point. Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping you're going to take the lead, I think, in this one, because you are going to have so much background knowledge on the European artists that have graced
I've got
the charts or the
3, 4, 5. I've got 6 pages of notes.
My oh my oh my.
What was that we were saying earlier about people having too much time on their hands?
I just said I didn't have too much time on my hands. I just had nothing else to do on Sunday, so I thought I'll do some research.
Go to
we
church.
Shouldn't criticise.
Right.
We shouldn't criticise, Jeff.
We shouldn't criticise. I thought I was going to really struggle with this, and initially I did. And I wrote a whole list and thought, no, Pete will choose them, and 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 Colin will choose that, and Colin will choose them, and Colin might choose them, and Pete will definitely choose them. So I thought, I've got to do this a different way. So I kind of stretched my boundaries slightly.
Painful.
And came up with 10 quality things. You are going to be so unimpressed when we get through these.
Right, sorry, can I just be clear here? When you say 10 quality things, are you talking bands or songs?
Yes.
Okay, he's not answering that question.
I've done bands, not songs.
I've got, hold on, 1, 2, 2.5, 3. I've got 3 bands.
And the others are artists, or the others are songs?
The others are artists.
Okay, I'm with you. All right.
Okay. Well,
I found. I don't know. I just found it very difficult because I couldn't find many European artists. And these are not UK artists, basically. I had to stipulate that. So they're artists from Europe, but not from the United Kingdom, that I love that much that I could include them. I've managed to get some. So if ones I've got maybe a couple of albums from, and I've got some other notables, like, I love that single by them, and I love that single by them, and other notable artists that should really get a mention, although I'm not that keen on. That's the way I've looked at it. So I probably definitely got 10, narrowed it down to about 10 artists, sort of A-list. But I don't know how many Stinks has got with his 6 hours of preparation on Sunday.
I've got 8 for Pete, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for you.
Well, I've deliberately,
on top of what I've got for myself.
I've deliberately not chosen the bands that you think I'm going to choose, except for one. So I will mention them in the way that I've done it, but I haven't chosen them.
So you're going to make us look fools, basically?
No, I'm not going to make you look fools. I've just decided that this is something which it's an interesting topic. All right, let me tell you. Let me do my little introduction because I think this is. Well, okay. So the brief you gave us was top European artists, and my question, which I wrote and read before I started, was in whose view? Because clearly one's view of who a top European artist is dependent on a whole bunch of variables which we might not agree on. But I think what we can agree on, and I'm happy for you to tell me I'm wrong, but I think that what we can agree on is that regardless of the genre, so soul, blues, rock, rap, party bands, glam, name a genre of popular music. If the United States of America and the United Kingdom hadn't been here, there would be no pop music. Basically, everything that has come on afterwards is derivative of what started in the States and the UK. And I think that's what makes it interesting. Because if you then say, right, I'm going to take out the heartland of all popular music, then you're left and say, well, okay, so how did European music come about? Now, of course, if you're saying, all right, I'm going to include Edith Piaf and I'm going to include, Jack Brel, then you can make an argument to say that, okay. But I think
that's 2 of mine gone then.
I think in general terms, music came from the UK and the US. And I think if you then look at Europe, then Europe divides in 2 bits, because you've got Spain, where they've now got a very good rock scene, but they're all kind of indigenous. They're all bands that are very famous in Spain and get big audiences in Spain, but they don't really do anything overseas. I mean, name a Spanish band, you can't. At Portugal, France, basically Jean-Michel Jarre and Jack Brel, but they stole him from Belgium. And Belgium, Jacques Brel and Plastic Bertrand. You know, I mean, you look at those countries and they ain't done an awful lot. And then you've got the rest of Europe, you've got Scandinavia and some European countries, which have got a bit of a history which goes back to the 60s when everything was just firing up and starting off in the UK and the US. So that's how I've done it. I've looked at it that way.
I think you may be proved wrong by the end of this.
I very much doubt it.
Not completely wrong, but I think you may have to stand back a bit and go, oh, okay then.
Well, I'm happy.
I'll wait for that.
I'm happy to be proven wrong, but I think if you said to most people, strip out all the American bands and all the English bands, people would be standing there going, "Yeah, all right."
I don't mean that. I mean, if you strip out what you've just said, who's left? That's whatever. I think you might be surprised who's left.
Well, I've got a load. I mean, I've got a load of very, very big, very successful bands on my list. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
Talk amongst yourselves.
I've got 28 bands that I've highlighted that are not covered by Spain, Portugal, France, Belgium, or anywhere else that doesn't have a history. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do them by country, and then I'm going to pick one band per country. That's how I've done it.
Well, fair enough, yeah. It's interesting you said earlier on about Scandinavia stretching back to the 60s. Now, I was looking back and thinking, the 60s?
No. I didn't say Scandinavia stretched back to the 60s. I said that Scandinavia have got a recognisable set of rock and pop bands out of Scandinavia that people look at and go, yeah, all right, they're Scandinavian. I didn't say the start. I didn't say back to the 60s.
I said about the 60s.
I did. I said some countries have got bands that go back to the 60s, and I have got one.
I was struggling with the 60s. I was thinking European artists. I actually, as a précis to what I will start on later, I was looking at #1 singles by European artists.
Well,
now, I don't know.
There's your first mistake.
Do we call
going with singles?
No. This is just out of interest because I don't know. That's the thing that when people think of popular music, they think of singles generally, don't they? I guess. Would we count like Eurovision? We don't count Israel as Europe, do we?
No.
Okay, well that cuts them out then. Then I reckon bands. The first, guess who I think might be the first European group? There might not be many in the band or in the group to have a #1 in the UK. Would have been when it would have been. I'll tell you what it was.
Abbey and Esther O'Farlane in 1970, whatever it was.
Yeah, well, that's the one I had, but they're Israeli, so we don't count them. Cinderella Rockefeller, in fact, yeah, that was probably the first one. If we were on Eurovision, they'd be in it, but not in the geographical Europe that we want to call. Demis Roussos, of course, had hits, didn't he? But he's not a band. He's big enough for a band, but he's not a band.
He was a band.
He was in Aphrodite's Child, but he wasn't a band. That's
and
true,
Aphrodite's Child started
is one in your
60s.
list. Oh, started in the 60s, so that's the one. Okay, fair enough.
And I've got it on my Pete list.
Did they have it? Did they have any success though?
Yes, they were. They had massive success. I mean, I'm going to come to this. They had massive success in Southern Europe as a pop band, and then they produced the album I'm going to talk about, which was not in the slightest bit pop, and that was when everything all went to crap because they decided they didn't want to do that kind of music. But they were very, very successful as a pop band in the 60s when they started.
Right. Well,
Colin, you need to tell us who you were going to say.
Baccarat.
Ah, yes, sir. You can boogie.
You can boogie.
Yes, sir, I can boogie.
Boogie,
boogie. Lyrically, right up Stinky Pete's
it's
Strasser.
right up there. It is fantastic.
So that was it. Yeah, I guess Boney M, I suppose they're what, are they German?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And crap.
Well, yeah, we're not that keen on the Boney M generally. I thought Boney M were going to be the next sort of Milli Vanilli. You know, it worked out that they never actually sung on any of their records. Or is it sang on any of their records? Mm,
They
the
sang.
grammar. Yeah, it is sang. It was right the first time. I should go with my gut. Okay.
I thought we said we weren't talking about that.
No, we're not. We're not talking about guts.
Should we actually get on with this and see where we get to?
Yeah, go for it. Who wants to start then? Stinks, if you've done all the research, what's your first thing you're going to say? Are you going to country by country, you say?
Yeah, I've got one from each of the countries that I've chosen, and but except for one country which I've got two from. So I'm going to start with. Let me think. I'm going to start with Germany. Okay.
All right.
So.
Okay, I've got a German band that might be on your list.
Okay, so the German bands that I've listed as being the big German bands: Rammstein, Scorpions,
yep,
Michael Schenker Group,
yep,
Faust. Now, Kraftwerk.
Yep.
Now you've got Beyond the Black, and then the ones I've chosen are Tangerine Dream.
What about Can?
Yeah, Can was one.
I'd forgotten Can. But Tangerine Dream started in 1967.
Yeah, but they're pretty crap, though, aren't they?
No,
they're worse than that.
Right. Are we going to take this seriously, or are we just going to sling insults?
No, we're not. No, we're not going to take it seriously. No, we are.
We're definitely not going to take it seriously because they are crap.
No, they're not crap. They are. Okay. There would literally be no electronic music. Now, whether you like electronic music or not, but our kids' generation, who grew up with electronic music, there would have been no electronic music without Tangerine Dream. So I would argue that Tangerine Dream are absolute pioneers of a particular type of music, and you might not like it, but that does not invalidate it as a form of music. So, formed in 1967 by Edgar Froese. The most well-known lineup is the one from the mid-70s, which was a trio of him and Christopher Franke and Pete Baumann. They've had loads and loads of lineups since until Froese's death in 2015, but they're still going because he appointed a guy whose name begins with Q, Porter something or other, as his kind of successor, the guy who would then take the band forward. So they're still performing. They are absolutely, undoubtedly, without argument, the pioneers of electronica. So the development of basically they started on a label called OHR, and it was and the OR label was about cosmic music, and that was kind of where they started. But it's really the Virgin years where they came to the fore. And really were exploring the use of synthesizers and sequencers and all that kind of electronic music. They had two top 20 albums, Phaedra, which was 1974, that got to number 15 in the UK, Rubicon, which was 1975. They've done 60 music scores for films from the late 90s through to the 2000s. They also scored the game Grand Theft Auto 5. Interestingly, and this is one for you, Colin, do you know where the name Tangerine Dream comes from?
I won't waste time. No.
Okay. It was a mishearing of Tangerine Trees and Marmalade Skies from
Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Yeah. So the name was a mishearing of that. One of their most famous gigs was at York Minster on the 20th of October 1975, which was performed in complete darkness. So the whole thing was this kind of ambient experience where you sat in the dark and listened to this synthesized music in the background. Now, whether or not you like that kind of music, you cannot disaggregate the pioneering music of Tangerine Dream. And I would argue you could add to that kind of on the side Kraftwerk and Faust, although Faust were right out there. I mean, their stuff you couldn't listen to. But I mean, that kind of krautrock sound, there would be no electronic music. There'd be no Tubeway Army. There would be none of that electronic stuff in the 80s. There'd be none of the stuff in the dance stuff the kids listened to in the 90s and the noughties. So I think that if you're talking about influential European music, Tangerine Dream are right up there. Love them or hate them.
Do you like them then?
I love them. I've got 4 Tangerine Dream albums, and when I'm at a stressful week like the first 3 days of this week, I might very often listen to Tangerine Dream late at night with a dram or two.
With a dram or a gram?
A dram.
A dram, okay.
A dram.
As you could well imagine, I'm not au fait with. I don't think I've ever listened to an entire Tangerine Dream album.
Why would you?
I wouldn't.
It's everything that you hate in music.
No,
so,
exactly. So I mean, sitting in the
which
dark,
which I totally
ambient
get.
experience. I mean, yeah, it just doesn't do. I had down on my list. I had Tangerine Dream down for you. I also had Kraftwerk and Can as possibles for you. Because Kraftwerk probably were around.
They were
when was Autobahn? 74.
Yeah, they were early 70s.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind listening to that, particularly the edited version. But the Kraftwerk I like is a little bit more poppy. They had a number 1, didn't they, with the Model or Das Model and the other side of Computer Love. A little bit more something, a little bit more go-y, basically. But Tangerine Dream, yeah, okay, fair dues. They should be included in there for sure. And one of your favourites of that genre.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to rush out and listen to Tangerine Dream if I can listen to Led Zeppelin or Deep Purple or Yes or Genesis, but they have got their place in the same way that all of the jazz rock stuff and all the fusion stuff that I love. So
all right.
Our mutual friend that you were at school with, Mr. Braddock,
Toby.
who we've spoken about before, Colin.
Toby Braddock, yeah.
Toby. You used to sit me down for hours on end and make me listen to Tangerine Dream.
What a bastard.
Because he was a huge fan.
Cruel and Unusual Punishment, then.
Well, I kind of wonder what I'd done wrong, really. But he was doing his best to be friendly, and that was lovely of him. Bless him. So yeah, I kind of grew to dislike them then.
I can understand that.
But you're absolutely right. They hold a place, and that is undisputable. As do many other things that we've talked about in the past. And we'll know to talk about again in a minute.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, so there we go. Tangerine. So my first pick's Germany, and I've told you the bands, and I've picked Tangerine Dream.
Jeff.
Okay. Well, I'll start with this one because it's there. Okay. This guy has. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Has sold 10 million albums worldwide, 65 million singles worldwide, and has had 30 billion streams on Spotify.
He's made a few bob out of Spotify then, even at the rubbish rates they pay.
He's French. Billboard classify one of his songs as the #1 dance pop collaboration of all time.
Is it Calvin Harris?
No. He has worked with everybody. But within that genre, Rihanna, Kelly Rowland, Lady Gaga, Skylar Grey, Nicki Minaj, Flo Rida, Black Eyed Peas, and so on and so forth. And one of his songs is in my top 40 ever.
Oh.
Which may surprise you. Which is sung by Sia.
Is that the woman with the silly hat?
Yeah, it looks like a lampshade.
Yeah.
Where's the lampshade on it?
So born in 1967 in France.
I was sort of on the right lines with Calvin Harris. No,
you are very much on the right lines.
Who's the other guy I'm thinking of?
I thought Calvin Harris was a preacher, so I'm a long way back here.
Calvin Harris. Thought he made underwear. That's another thing.
Okay, so the song that was Kelly Rowland's song, that was #1 pop collaboration was called.
Oh
When
yeah,
Love
I know. Yeah, with
and the one that I like is called Titanium.
Titanium, yeah, but that one with Kelly Rowland. Oh, what's his name? I can't think of his name. Give us his initials.
DG.
David Guetta.
There we go. David Guetta. And he is a producer, songwriter, DJ, whatever. And I don't think you can argue with stats of that volume.
No, you can't.
Like whether you like it or not. And some of his stuff I very much do like, and some of it I don't. That's the way that life is. But yeah, I think he's there. I think he's up there.
What does he do on the? I mean, he writes them, presumably.
He writes the songs.
Does he play?
He produces.
He doesn't sing them, does he?
No, he usually gets someone else to sing them. He produces. We were doing this earlier. He's a DJ. I don't know what this means.
That's Tommy Cooper. Tommy Cooper, isn't it?
I was just going to say Tommy Cooper.
Yes.
He's Tommy Cooper. He's Tommy Cooper in disguise.
Bless him.
So, yeah. But Titanium is just a brilliant song. And the fact that they sung it in the shower in Pitch Perfect is irrelevant.
I haven't seen Pitch Perfect, to be fair.
Oh, Colin, you have to watch it.
I know.
It is genius film.
Hasn't it got that fat Australian bird in it?
Yes.
It's a reason I would not watch it, because I can't stand her.
She speaks really highly of you, oddly.
Wilson?
Strangely, I don't care.
Rebel Wilson. Anna Kendrick's in it, and Brittany Snow, and there's a million good reasons to watch it.
Talking of Australia.
And musically, it's superb.
Isn't Sia Australian? Is Sia Australian?
I don't know, to be honest.
She doesn't qualify for this. I just thought I'd throw that in as if I knew what I was talking about.
People in Australia wear lampshades on their ends.
Well, it's hot over there, isn't it? Sun's like,
You make a fair point.
Keeps all the
anyway, there you go. David West is my first offering.
Well, can I be quick then and just get this one out of the way? Because obviously you can't talk European bands without this one. And I'm going to say ABBA. That's all I really need to say.
It's on my list. It has to be.
Well, it's got to be there. It's on my list of bands from Sweden. I'm obviously not going to talk about them.
No, I don't think I need to say much of them. But I mean, they are one of the most renowned and commercially successful bands in history. So you've got to really have them in there with, like, I don't know, 9 number ones, was it, in the UK? 6 number one albums.
Absolute top of the tree, cream of the crop as far as pop music is concerned. And I think what sums it all up, Colin, is you've got to be big enough to get a whole OTR to yourself.
Yeah, true.
What more? Very true. What more can we say about them?
And Stinks wasn't on that one.
I reckon
obvious reason. Good Lord for that.
Far too happy and poppy for Stinks. Go on, Stinks. Yeah. Give us another one then.
All right. Well, okay. So I'm going to go. I've got 2 from Sweden. Okay, that do not include ABBA and do not include the other band that I think you might choose from Sweden. But I'm going to do them separately. So the obvious one to do first is Europe, from Europe, because that's the whole thing. Now,
yes,
formed in 1979 by Joey Tempest on vocals.
Can I say he still sounds with a name like that like a character on a Jerry and Sylvia Anderson.
Yes, he does. Yes, he should be on Captain Scarlet. Oh no, Stingray. Yeah, he should be on Stingray.
It doesn't sound like he comes from Sweden.
Oh no, wasn't it Fireball XL5?
No, Fireball XL5. No, Troy Tempest was Stingray.
It was Stingray with phones.
It was Stingray. Yeah, Troy Tempest. Anyway,
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's fine. So Joey Tempest on vocals, John Norum on guitar and Peter Olsen on bass and Tony Reno on drums. Now, the interesting thing about Europe is, the thing that I find interesting about Europe is that I saw them live and they were absolutely brilliant. They were supported by Foreigner and FM. It was a really good gig. Was that the one? No, that was some. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It was a good gig. But he told the story. The reason that he wanted to form a band was because he got the ferry from Stockholm to wherever, and then found his way to England in order to go and watch Thin Lizzy at the Hammersmith Odeon when he was a 16-year-old kid. And on the way home, he decided that he wanted to be a rock star, and he formed Europe. And they have produced 11 studio albums, 3 live albums. Now, obviously, the big one that everybody knows them for is the 1986 offering, The Final Countdown, which was their 3rd album, which by 2003 it had 10 million album sales. So I don't know how much it would have by now, but I suspect it's probably up into the 11s, 12s, 13s maybe. And they then took a hiatus, sort of 1992. They got back together in 1999 for a one-off New Year's Eve gig in Stockholm. And then they had an official reunion in 2003. And since then, they have had 6 albums. Now, before I talk about them, for me, Europe will forever be associated with the song The Final Countdown, which I know you can't stand. And they'll also be associated with Rock the Night, which is off the same album. Those songs are perfectly halfway decent pop rock songs, but they are so much better than that 1980s period. That's where they made their names. Totally get that. But the new version of Europe, which isn't all of the original lineup, they've done 6 albums since they reformed in 2003. So 2004, Start from the Dark, 2006, Secret Society, 2009, Last Look at Eden, 2012, Bag of Bones, 2015, War of Kings, and 2017, Walk the Earth, which was the last one. Now, I would contend that Last Look at Eden, Bag of Bones, and Walk the Earth, which are the 3 I own, are 3 very, very well crafted rock albums by a band that is very, very good at what it does and is so much more than the kind of hair glam 1980s,
pop rock, I think, if I can call it.
Yeah, pop rock. Yeah, absolutely.
Whatever that means.
And I think they're done a disservice by everybody knowing them for those 2 songs, which when you listen to Last Look at Eden in particular and Bag of Bones, they've got blues on there. They're just really, really good musicians. And Joey Tempest, they write really good songs. Joey Tempest is a really good vocalist. And I think that they are hard done by for being known for those 2 songs, which are not representative. And I will be choosing something from Last Look at Eden or Bag of Bones tomorrow.
Okay. Did they do a version of Marina?
No.
Marina.
Lovely.
No, they don't.
Anything could happen in the next half hour.
And probably will.
Probably will. Europe, yeah, you're right. The Final Countdown, it's one of those songs for me. I mean, I wouldn't switch it off if it came on. Let's put it that way. If it came on the radio, mind you, I might be playing it, so I probably couldn't turn it off. You know what I mean? If I heard it on another radio, I wouldn't turn it off. It's just that's sort of just annoys me. A bit like, Do You Think I'm Sexy annoys me as well. That's an absolutely grotesque record, in my opinion, but that's nothing to do with European acts. Right, Jeff, what have you got for another surprise? Yeah.
I've got lots of surprises. You're going to get nothing but surprises today. This might not be. This is 2 for the price of 1, if that's okay.
Go on.
Because although both these guys can stand alone, they stand better together. One of them is Belgian. One of them is French. They both played with the Duke Ellington Orchestra.
Oh, okay.
They formed together La Quintette du Hot Club de France.
Oh, the Hot Club de France. Right, okay, yeah.
After their time together, one went off to play a more bebop-y style of American jazz. The other went off to play a more lounge style of jazz. Do we have any ideas? One
Django Reinhardt
and
Stefan Grappelli.
Yes, Reinhardt and Grappelli.
On the fiddle, is it a violin? He's a violinist.
Stefan Grappelli's a violinist, yeah. And Django Reinhardt is a guitarist. Although he started off as a banjo player. I don't know if you know that. Started off in a band because he's Romany. He's a gypsy by birth. And he lost his fingers, which is the big story that everyone knows about Django Reinhardt. But he lost them in a fire in his caravan. So he and his wife, the caravan they lived in on the gypsy site, caught fire. No fingers.
Well, he has got some fingers, just not all of them.
He's got 2 fingers on his fret hand.
Yeah, that's right.
So he played 2-fingered on his fret hand. Although, sneaky little boy that he was, he used his stumps occasionally when he was playing chords.
As you would.
There's nothing like a bleeding stump, is there?
No.
Which someone famously said. Shakespeare, was he? I know that they did it in the Knights of Knee, but
they did do it in the Knights of Knee, but they probably stole it from someone.
So there's a whole bunch of recordings of the 2 of them together, and they had this quintet that they did. I guess the big song that people know is Djangology, which it's just the 2 of them, and they're just brilliant together.
Yeah.
But they both, I could have done them both separately, but I didn't see the point, to be honest.
Put them together, fair enough. And one's French and one's Belgian, you say?
Django Reinhardt is Belgian Romany, and Stefan Grappelli, despite the fact he sounds highly Italian, is French.
He does.
Was French.
It's from that Italian bit of France.
Yes.
That'll be the one. So Reinhardt was 1910. I didn't realise he was born that early. Died in 1953. Stefan Grappelli was born in 1908, but didn't die till 97. So he was quite old.
He got on a bit. Yeah, he got on a bit.
So,
okay.
He must have been very quick in the neck by then, mustn't he?
Are they accessible for the likes of me?
They are, because it's gypsy music and fiddle music.
Yeah.
But it's semi-classical. I mean, Stefan Grappelli doesn't play sort of like yeehaw fiddle. It's almost like a classical fiddle that's played in a sort of jazz style.
Well, it's kind of jazz folk, isn't it? Almost.
Yeah, it is.
And especially with Reinhardt.
And actually, what you were saying earlier, Pete, and I didn't say too much because of what we've got going, but an awful lot of the European stuff, particularly the French and the Spanish and like the southern stuff, comes from the gypsy and the folk traditions
100%.
of those areas.
Absolutely. Yeah, they do.
So
yeah, very much so.
But yes, I think there's a lot of it you would like, Colin.
Okay.
Yeah, good shout. That's a very good shout. Excellent.
Well, you got a tick.
What you got, Cole?
A tick VG from Stinks there, Jeff.
No red lines on this one.
You mentioned another Swedish act, Stinks, that I might choose. What might that have been?
Roxette.
Yeah, I might as well get it out of the way then. Go on. I'll just be boring and have them because I love them. They're like a rockier version of ABBA to me.
No, beautiful description.
It is really, isn't it? But 4 number 1 US singles, 5 top 10 UK singles, 4 top 3 albums in the UK. Look Sharp was a big album there, a breakthrough album, really. Joyride, and what were the other big ones: Tourism and Crash Boom Bang. Now, for me, an album's called Crash Boom Bang. It's got to be good. It's not. It just sounds good to me. It sounds up my street. Of course, they became massive after they included in the Pretty Woman soundtrack with "It Must Have Been Love." But yeah, sadly Marie Fredriksson is no longer with us. But I think there's another Swedish female singer that Per Gessler's got with him now, so they're still going. Roxette, mine seem to be nice and short and sweet, so it gives you the chance to show us your prowess, if you pardon the expression.
Yes,
Stinky, and show us your research.
Don't show us too much of it though, because we want to be on the BBC one day.
I've had a really long